Hello and welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host Khaleel Ward, and on this episode, I'll be talking about Queen and Slim, the movie starring Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner Smith. And first thing I want to talk about is the performances. I thought the two leads were great. I really enjoyed Jodie Turner Smith. I like the fact that she was the strong one in a sense. You know, she was a lawyer. I like the fact that she was taller than him. It comes into play later on in certain scenes, but I just like the fact that she was tall, strong. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, and I think Kaluuya he was soft spoken for the most part. Early on, like on their date, even though the waitress got his order wrong, he was just laid back and cool about it. Even when they get pulled over, he was calm and chill. He always kept a calm demeanor, in terms of not trying to be someone he's not. And I just thought they just work well together on screen, at all times. Again, the whole movie focuses around them. And you've seen in the trailer, they go on a date and then they get pulled over. And again, Kaluuya is just going according to whatever the officer's saying. He's following instructions. He's not talking back. But Turner Smith, she's like, why is he being pulled over? Do you have a warrant? She's always asking questions because she's the lawyer. And, they get into it. They shoot the cop. Well, he shoots the cop and they don't know what to do. He's freaking out. He wants to go home and, turn himself in and everything like that. And she's like, nah, we got to run. We got to go. We can't because they're going to treat you like property and stuff like that. And they go, and the first place they're going to go, this happens in Ohio. So she said, let's go to my uncle's house in New Orleans. And they start driving. And they didn't really get along that well. Like the trailer makes it seem like they get along real well. They didn't really they didn't like each other. And if the first date would have ended regularly, there wouldn't have been a second date because they weren't really compatible. And even when they start going on a run, they're still not compatible. For like the first 30 minutes of the movie, 35, 40 minutes, like they don't really rock with each other like that. They just happen to be in a situation together. And it's not like, they were like, oh yeah, I enjoy being with this person. It's like, I'm stuck with this person. And I think the movie is shot, beautifully, and the music cues, they work well. For me, the movie could have been so much greater. I think the movie lacks intensity in terms of the situation at hand. The footage goes viral of them shooting the cop, and you can see what happens full, because they don't show you that in the trailer, like fully what happens. You can see it in the cam, and it goes around and they run into people who know who they are, and it's a big deal. It's on all the news stations and everything like that, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's struggling to be two different types of movie. On one hand, it's like a love story. Watching these two characters who had a date and it wasn't going great, and they just stuck together with each other, and you can see their relationship grow and the connection grow. And they love each other without it ever being said in the movie. But then on the other hand, you have this drama. They killed cop and they supposed to be on the run, but you don't really feel that. You maybe in like one scene, maybe two scenes towards the end, but you don't really feel like they're on the run. It's like they're going on a road trip. Maybe something happened and they just going on a long road trip together because something happened. It doesn't have that intensity. Everywhere you go, you hear about it on the news or the radio. Yeah, these people killed the cop, blah blah blah. But there's barely any, like, there's no cop chases or things like that. It's just they're just going along casually, and I think that's where the movie falters. The quiet moments. It doesn't, again, it lacks the intensity of the matter at hand. They kill a cop and you expect the cops to be on them, and it feels like the cops are just not one step behind, but like 10 steps behind. everything. Even when they leave Ohio, it's like you would think everything would be up and running. No, they just chilling and eating, on the side of the road, and nothing happens. And it takes you out of it a little bit. You're expecting more action, and they sitting around and they having conversations with all these different types of people they coming across because they're on a journey to get somewhere so they can get on a plane and go to Cuba. But it just, I don't know, it's great performances, looks great, but it's not really a drama to me. Like, as I was watching, I was like, okay, this scene is kind of pointless. This doesn't have to happen. There's a scene where they run into a kid and they having a conversation. He's like, I want to be immortal, and that scene happens afterwards, and it's like, why is that even there? Like, I don't know. It's like the manner in which the shooting happens. The people who see it, they take it as like it's a turning point for Black people in communities and stuff like that. And I don't see the movie as that. I see it more as a love story. And if it would have just focused on being a love story, I think it would have been a better movie. But the fact that it's the drama, and when you come to the end of the movie, it's not rewarding enough for me, and I was slightly disappointed, towards the end of the movie. But if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it. What did you think about Jodie Turner Smith, in her introduction? But thank you for listening. Deuces.